Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. As we are approaching the Lion's Gate, that's going to be happening tomorrow, and we are already in that energy, to be honest with you, and it will stay with us for a few more days too. I wanted to do a check and see how the twins have been impacted at this time, and if there is anything you need to pay attention to, then we're gonna find out. As well as, of course, take a look at what are the feelings between the twins and what are the messages. I will also pull a card from the self-compassion deck as we continue navigating this time of various astrological transits, very powerful energy that of course impacts light workers, twin flames a lot harder than, not harder, but impacts us more than everybody else. Okay, let's get the oracle card for each of the twins. I have my enchanted map oracle with me. So let's see what comes up for the feminines first of all. Hope you guys are doing great. If you like what I'm doing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ooh, commitment. I don't think I've seen this card in this deck yet. Wow, I'm actually glad I have the book. I want to read the book. Do you not want me to read the book? I'm sure you do, when it's a card like that. Aww. This is adorable. A true commitment is a responsibility of the heart, mind, body, and soul. This is a good time to make one. And this is the main message for the Lion's Gate. And I know that we see an image like that, we start thinking about union with our divine masculine, but as much as that could be and maybe should be part of any kind of commitment or manifestation that you make, this is definitely almost like I feel the love affair with yourself in your life, or with your life, you and your life, right? This is like this commitment to having this great life that's full of trust and love and magic with this rainbow color. Anyway, let me read it. Partnerships formed at this time are harmonious and powerful. The commitment card also indicates the natural evolution of a relationship from its inception to a literal or metaphorical marriage. At the very least, there is a promise of fulfillment in some form. However, you must be conscious of what you're committing to. Be clear about the nature of your commitment and your responsibility to it. Others are more willing to enter into partnerships at this time. Remember that your partnership with spirit and the highest version of your own self will engage the highest self in another. Almost what I was just saying about the commitment to self and to your life. Okay, let's get a card for the masculines. See what they're up to. This is beautiful. I love this imagery. Ooh, a little bit different for the masculines. We have Heal the Ouch. Heal the Ouch is the healing card, right? It's like a wake-up call that something in your life needs healing at the moment. Or if you don't suspect anything on your side, then somebody else close to you needs your help as a healer. Or it doesn't have to be literally, right? It can be a supportive hand, you know, a shoulder to cry on, you know, an ear so they can vent, whatever is needed. Forgiveness is the healer of the soul. I like that. This is a time for great soothing of the heart, body, soul, and mind, as this card indicates that healing will be prevalent in your life now. If you feel drawn to study the healing arts, you'll be successful in developing your natural capacity to restore others to wellness. However, the message may be that you're being called to change your behaviors in order to heal the earth. Perhaps you'll switch to a cruelty-free diet, eating less meat. Or perhaps you'll pay more attention to how much water or electricity you use. You're asked to be conscious of your footprint on the sacred earth and all of life, and to commit to the healing path. The Ouch card may also be an indicator of old wounds and broken bonds being mended. Reconciliations are possible now. Let bygones be bygones. Alright, so this, I would just add a little asterisk to that because we're still in the Venus retrograde, followed by Mercury retrograde. So just use your discernment, I would say. Don't just try to reconcile with someone just based on the card, right? Like, be very conscious of, like, and use your intuitive guidance on whether this is the right time. And don't think that that's the only step in that reconciliation, because if you're thinking that this card is about reconciling with someone, or like clearing the air and talking about forgiveness to heal the situation, to heal the relationship, it doesn't have to be literally talking to the person, or like, it's not, usually it's not step one, right? Step one is more about, especially if you were partly or fully responsible for this unbalanced situation, let's call it that way, right? Is to see your part in it, right? And see what you can mend. And like the book was saying, changing your beliefs, changing your habits, not just so that it's not just a reconciliation of this particular case or whatever has happened before, but that you can avoid doing this in the future, making the same mistake, not just with this person, with anyone. If it was unhealthy, then that's what's being shown to you, right? This is like the consequence, so that you understand that that's not the right way to go about it. And it's important to consciously change that mindset, change that belief system, so that you don't have to pay as much attention to it when you're being triggered, when you are in your emotions. And maybe you won't even be triggered by the same circumstance. You know what I mean? Like, that's the key here. And you can use the time in August and use this energy space of the Lion's Gate to manifest being free of this kind of patterns, this kind of scenarios where you hurt people and then you have to reconcile. And yeah, I know what you may say, that, you know, it's a natural flow of life, right? Like, nobody's perfect, things happen, but especially when it comes to twin flames, there are no coincidences. And if we get a card like that about something that happened, it clearly means that there is a wound that's most likely beyond just a specific scenario, just having a bad day, just being pissed off with that kind of behavior. Why are you pissed off with that kind of behavior? Why did you have to do or to say or not do or not say what you did, right? What would be the healthy way? Why didn't you do what the healthy way would be? And I don't mean it in a judgmental way. I mean it in a kind of like more of a being a detective and seeing, like, what is the problem there, right? Because if you just try to artificially tell yourself you're not supposed to do X, Y, Z in such situation, you're supposed to do it without really telling your brain, what is it? Why did it happen? Why is it not a good idea? What did it come from? You know, it's just not gonna work, really. It will come out in a bit different way in the future anyway. That's just saying. Okay, let's get into tarot. Let's see how, I have a couple of decks here. I will use my holographic deck for the feelings towards each other, but I'll start with a steampunk and we'll see how is the 8-8 portal impacting. First of all, divine feminine. So we get the devil kind of on the side. Not sure if it was supposed to be in reverse or not. And then we have 9 of cups. I'm gonna keep it on the side for now. The masculines. Queen of Cups. Clarified by Knight of Pentacles and 2 of Cups. That's fun. Okay, so this is the impact. This is what comes to light. What is the outcome? Of this time, of this week, let's say. The outcome of this week. 4 feminines. Emperor, 9 of Wands, 4 of Swords. Okay, okay. Someone needs some self-care time. And what's the outcome for the masculines? Death, Judgment, Hermit. Wow. 3 major arcanas. I mean, 3 out of 3. And the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. We're all becoming more intuitive. We're opening up to our psychic gifts. And the energy is helping us see further, be more open-minded, yet the veil is thinning, so we are getting in touch with our guides, with our higher self, faster, easier, right? And that naturally opens up all kinds of information that is important on our journey. That is an important clue. I'm getting again that metaphor with this being a detective and solving a crime or just a puzzle. You know, it's giving us important clues that we were missing before, and that's why we couldn't progress. And now we're like, I wish I knew that 3 months ago, right? I've been so much further along. But don't think about that too much, because remember, it's all done in divine timing, and whatever time you needed at that previous stage without the clues, that's what you needed to kind of marinate in, to get enough of that energy to be able to draw your own conclusion based on that amount of information. Okay, I don't want to get this to be too long, but it might be. It might be long. So, Devil and 9 of Cups, Devil on the side, kind of. So what I'm getting, it's helping this 8-8 Lionsgate portal is helping Divine Feminine see what kind of wishes they make, what kind of manifestations they make are actually contributing, are pure of heart and contributing to their happiness and happiness of people around, and which ones are more self-indulgent, because that's the devil side of 9 of Cups energy, and are driven by ego, right? Because I can wish a lot of material wishes actually like that. You know, I can wish for things, for positions, for this and that, to have it in my life, or to look a certain way. And that often comes from ego, right? From either feeling not good enough, or feeling like you just have to follow those trends, those friends of yours, or those celebrities, or whoever else, right? But if it's pure and you can clearly see that the end goal is adding more joy, is raising the vibration, is getting more awareness into your own life and that of people around you, that's a different story, right? So you're clearly seeing that some of your manifestations that you've maybe had for a while, or that you were thinking about lately, or not that. And this is like very like clear. It's almost like there's a projector shining onto all of them, and you can just see clearly. It's like it's black and white suddenly. You're like, oof, yeah, no, I don't want that. I don't want this, right? But I definitely want to keep this, this, and that. And the more you have that focus, so out of like 10 things you have 4, the faster you'll be able to manifest them into your life. What is the outcome for the feminines? It's the Emperor, 9 of Wands, and 4 of Swords. Yeah, so what I'm getting was this immediately. What I got when I saw the cards was, stop being afraid that you need to save for a rainy day, or that you need to keep going no matter what, right? Like, stop being afraid for your future, whether it's personal or professional life. And the outcome is that you'll finally stop doing that, or stop doing it as much, and you'll be able to let your hair down and, you know, relax and take care of yourself, maybe celebrate a little, depends on what is going on in your life right now. But that's that Aries in the North Node energy, right? To see it again and be able to use it in a healthy way, right? Like, think about your needs, your passions, your ambitions, and how you can meet them. Even if you can't fully meet them yet, what can you do today already with what you have? For masculines, we have as in the question of what is this portal, how is this portal impacting them, we have the Death, the Judgment, and the Hermit. And these are all profound energies in terms of enlightenment and going to the next level, right? The Death is a complete transformation. And I like that in this deck, it actually also has a bit of a love notion to it. It's a very interesting imagery here. We don't have too much time to go into it, but there is a guy in the background who is like standing by the tomb in the cemetery and putting roses on the book. Not even on the book, but on the tombstone. And the lady is flying away, and that's the death. You can tell because of her attributes, right? So there is a bit of a transformation in love that I'm getting here. It's almost like the older ways have died out, and it's a little sad. And there's maybe a little bit of integration time that the DMs will need to see that they were mistaken in certain things, that what they saw for themselves as a template of love, relationship, partnership with someone, life in the material realm is not gonna happen. Not because it's like, oh my god, you know, what I pictured for myself is never gonna happen for me, oh my god. No, it's because the view has changed. The enlightenment brings in new imagery, new pictures, new focuses, right? And you know, after like 5 or 6 changes to the previous image, it's a completely different image now. So there is a little bit of that mourning of that old view and what could have been, right? Or how I saw it for myself. But it's supposed to quickly change into, wow, but now I get to create on this new canvas with the new setup, and it's going to be bigger and better than I could ever imagine. So much so that I actually need some more time just to get my head around it, just to start my new vision board, if you wish, right? Like there's a lot of excitement that comes in with it. There may be at first some mourning, some sadness, but at the end of the day, there will be that excitement and that artist kind of vision of like, ooh, I get to create now, I get draw here, right? I have so many new exciting ideas. Perfect. And I love actually that it's all major arcanas. So it's like there's so much divine orchestration at this time to bring the DMs up to speed, up to the role, you know, like we've been seeing a lot of fear lately. And I mean, that's a general subject, of course, but this is the time where that healing is being accelerated. The old beliefs are being changed. It's almost like if you took too long to figure it out by yourself, we are just going to change it for you like that overnight. And that's why it's so dramatic. That's why it will take a minute to integrate, because it didn't happen naturally through specific karmic situations. It just kind of hit divine masculine. It will hit them very soon. It's like, this is how life is. This is what is important. This is what is true love. This is what happiness is about. And they'll be like, ooh, wow, that's interesting, that's different, I believe it, but you know, have a lot of adjustments to make now in my for my previous plan. Okay, and the outcome here is Queen of Cups, 2 of Cups, and Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so definitely a much stronger connection to what they've got with the feminine, because with the new vision in mind, there's a lot more of that not even overlap, but matching, you know, a lot more of matching in terms of this is what I want and this is what I can get from this connection, which they see as almost like this. Well, I mean, this is Kundalini energy, right? So there is a bigger sexual passion, tension connection too. But more than anything, they see this as something also kind of like fated, divinely orchestrated, something that is just meant to be, that's supposed to happen, where they realize that they didn't choose this person, but somebody out there chose that these 2 people, they're gonna be together. And of course, a lot of them don't know about twin flames or the nature of the background, but nevertheless, there is this moment where it's like, it's not even my choice really. I can't do anything about it. It's not like I can just forget about this person and move on with my life. It's not an option anymore. Well, I mean, it's an option, but I'm just gonna be unhappy. There's always that option, right? And so they choose happy, and look at this Queen of Cups. They are this Queen of Cups. They are choosing happiness. They want to be able to celebrate with their feminine, to be able to say, sorry, it took so long, but I'm here now. Or at the very least, if you're in the earliest stages, it's like they're thinking to themselves that it's gonna take me a while, but I'm gonna get there, and we are gonna celebrate together. I am gonna be that worthy match. I am gonna get my stuff together. Okay, how the twins feeling towards each other. I don't think I'll do the messages today, but I'll do at least the feelings. Feminines to masculines, first of all. We have the Hangman. Ooh, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. You can't make this up. Wow. Okay, and masculines to feminines. I'm almost sorry that there are no more tens of that nature available, but I'm sure we'll manage. Oof, the Devil. Two of Swords. Anything else? Magician and Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, so yeah, a little bit iffy on this side, but yeah, let's see. So for feminines, there is a very clear vision that this is the place to be at, that this is all happening, that the union, it's only a matter of time of when it's going to happen. So it's almost like this is a preparation phase, like this is a bit of strategizing phase, which again makes sense with the Venus retrograde, right? That we need to get our stuff together and figure out how we want to do it. What is it gonna be? Where we want to start? How we want this to go? Because when we do get together, our opinion will matter. Finally, our opinion will matter a lot. How we see it from this new perspective again, not the way that our previous relationships have been, right? This is a learning curve for us as well, where we're supposed as feminines, as healed feminines, as ascended feminines, to come up with a new way of how we want this to unfold, of what is going to be important, of what the boundaries are going to be. Remember, we are now speeding up into that north and south nodes with Aries and Libra. So those topics will be coming up for the next 18 months, more often than we think, right? Just reminding us that this is important, and it's important to, I mean, you can't pre-agree about everything, obviously, but it's still important to know those kind of ground rules when you are moving into commitment with someone else. And this is that 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, is that level of commitment when it makes sense to agree about boundaries. This is our common space. This is where we make decisions together. This is the stuff we do together. And this is our personal space, right? And these are the things that we are, where we have our independence, and, you know, we can do what we feel is right. And that can be unfolded in many different ways. I'm not gonna go into details in this reading, but you know what I mean. So with the masculines, it's a little bit of the puzzle right now. They don't want to manipulate the situation. They don't want to get manipulated, and they're having trouble. There is some imbalance here, unbalanced energy. They're having trouble figuring out what that balanced version is from both sides. So how can they tell that the feminine is not playing them like they've been played many times before, right? Because they feel weak right now. They feel scared. So it almost feels, automatically feels like something is not right here, because they don't feel so good, right? And they don't want to be people who manipulate the situation the way they did so many times before to get to where they wanted to get to. And then realizing that it didn't really work out anyway, right? The goal doesn't always justify the means. So this is new territory for them, but this is them thinking, how do I get this right? I don't want to mess it up. Or I don't want to mess it up more than I already did for some. But yeah, what can I say? Just to add to it, that means they really care about getting it right. That's why there is that fear and a bit of uncertainty. And looks like the 8-8 portal is gonna get them through the portal to the other side with completely new perspective and knowledge and understanding. So that's gonna be helpful. So if you don't hear from your masculine this week, you hear something that seems off or weird or whatever, don't be surprised. But best to leave them to their space, their thoughts, and continue with what you are doing. One last thing that I almost forgot to do is the self-compassion card of the day. Make yourself comfortable. Don't remember if we had this one or not. Check in with your body. Ask if it needs anything to feel more comfortable. To stretch, walk, relax, breathe. Give yourself permission to enjoy whatever action you take. For example, I know that my body wants a smoothie and a walk, so that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. In the meantime, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll be back with my readings very soon.